air conditioning, manual everything with a big block. It's side pipes. That's why it's extra loud. Not handling too bad, but just trying to get used to it. Here you go, guys, driving in the 67 again. This big block's kind of cool. The 4-speed, I hate the 4-speed to be honest, but you know, big block torque is actually pretty sweet in a car that weighs nothing. So, but like I said earlier, you know, this car has manual brakes, manual power steering, manual windows, you know, pretty much as manual as you can get. No air conditioning. It's got like floor vents and that's about it. So there you go. That is the 1967 Corvette with that 427 big block, 4-speed manual. Well, manual everything, side pipes and all that. Overall, that is the oldest car I've ever driven. You know, my very first car was a '89 Chevy Beretta. Yeah, I drove some other 80s cars. I've driven a couple 3rd-gen Camaros, but that was by far the oldest car I've ever driven. And it's kind of shocking how much of a difference in the interior size. Because, like, in that car, like, you're literally sitting right next to your passenger. You know, with the Corvette, you think the Corvette has a small interior, but no, you get in that older Corvette, I think is a much more smaller, compact interior. The modern cars have just big 6-speed transmissions in them, big, you know, transmission tunnels in between you, and separating everyone. So, but overall, it's a pretty fun experience driving an old car like that. And I kind of complained a little bit about the manual transmission, you know, just being kind of vague. Yeah, I'm still going to stand by that. Those 4 speeds were, you know, not very concise with the external, you know, gear shift levers and all that stuff with how you control that. But the other thing that was different for me driving that car was the manual steering and the carburetor. The only car that I've ever driven that has had manual steering was like a mid-90s Geo Prism, Chevy Prism. It was a Geo Prism back in those days, and it was a 3-speed, and man, that thing was impossible to steer. But this thing, kind of just as bad. But, you know, once you're up at speed, you know, manual steering doesn't really matter. And as for the carburetor, you know, if you didn't give that thing gas when you were trying to start the car wouldn't run. So I stalled it a couple times. May have embarrassed myself a little bit, but that's all right. Once you actually get up to speed in a car like that, all of those problems I just listed pretty much melt away. You know, the manual steering, you really don't notice. The carburetor issues I was kind of experiencing just starting the thing, you know, that goes away. and it drives like a normal car. So, and even after it warmed up and I was driving it for like 10 or 15 minutes and we got stopped in traffic, it drove just fine. You know, it's just that initial like first couple minutes getting used to it, getting the car up to temp, and you know, it's kind of when I noticed all those flaws. And that's just kind of what you get with an old car. You know, it's kind of the name of the game. So I'm going to try to get more featured rides on the channel. This is actually only the second one we've ever done. A number of years ago, we went out to Colorado and visited my friend, and we drove his Pro-Charge C6 Corvette. I'll have a link in the description above for that. And, you know, just on that note, I'll try to get a couple more, see if we can, because I think you guys would enjoy seeing other stuff just in my Corvette and the SS and the truck. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. If you want to know when I upload new content, hit the bell notification button down below. And as always, if you want to help support the channel, click all the links down below. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.